Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you could see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a true Dewitt original, a timepiece from a small brand that makes few watches, even fewer of them, full in-house complications. This is the 2006 25-piece limited edition full platinum Dewitt Academia Tourbillon Force Constante, a timepiece with a constant force mechanism, a flying tourbillon with yoke-style balance, and though 43 millimeters in diameter, it wears incredibly easy on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, and that's because the watch is incredibly thin. Despite the colonnade profile of the caseband, the watch is only 13 millimeters thick, and I actually rounded that up from 12.9. Lug-to-lug, the watch is easy to wear. It's only 46.7 millimeters lug-to-lug, despite being a 43, which is to say, this is a very compact watch. Despite its size, I can recommend it for wrists as small as 14 centimeters in circumference. The lug spacing of the timepiece is contemporary, 21 millimeters being a very broad and modern stance on the wrist, so 21 is your lug spacing. The strap is very substantial. You can see sheer sides showing construction layers heavily bolstered, that is stuffed with material to give it some volume. There's a light contrasting silver stitch to what's generally a anthracite black-gray, and then you can see large rectangular scale alligator leather and calfskin on the underside. It is a Dewitt factory strap, and as you can see, it is a new Dewitt factory strap in outstanding condition. You'll be the first one to gouge it. The buckle is a handsome piece, and it is substantial, though as you can see, despite this being a platinum watch, commonly used material for the buckle of a platinum watch is white gold, which is the hardest and stiffest of the golds. Visually, it matches the platinum, and it also prevents small swing arm mechanisms from deforming. And there's a lot of white gold in this clasp mechanism, which nicely counterweights the heavy watch on your wrist. Jerome Dewitt wants you to know that he is a distant relative of Napoleon, a fact he will not allow to pass, and thus he has what he calls the imperial colonnade pattern on the flanks of his watch. It's become distinctive. It's present across the model ranges, not just the high-end Academia range, and it does give the watch a distinctive look. It's not the coined case profile of a Breguet, nor is it the simple blended lug of a Calatrava. It's really its own thing, and you can see that the recesses are blasted, and the colonnade itself is all of high polish, continuing seamlessly through the bezel into a surface structure that visually extends the columns. Complex, different, distinctive. I like it. It's an interesting look and one you won't find anywhere else. Now, the dial. We need to talk about the dial because this is where you can see the highlight of the timepiece. The constant force spring and the flying tourbillon. Now, I didn't wind the watch specifically because I wanted you to see that non-annular balance. You can see how it's not a wheel, it's a yoke. And this watch actually launched in 2006, making it one of the first watches to use a non-annular or non-circular style balance. This is Dewitt's own balance design, and it came a full year before JLC launched its master compressor Extreme Lab 1 with a yoke-style balance, and it was actually contemporaneous to the first non-annular balance designs by Dewitt. So this was an innovative arrangement. Now, it beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and it has a 72-hour manual wind power reserve. There is an intermediate spring that acts as a buffer between the mainspring barrel and the escapement. So you can see it's effectively a remontoir d'égalité, as you would find in an FP Journe tourbillon souverain. So you have the remontoir, or the intermediate spring, to provide constant force to the escapement. So regardless of how tightly wound or discharged the mainspring barrel, the escapement always receives the same amount of force and therefore maintains constant amplitude for much of the wind. You can also see that there's a custom skeletonized escape wheel with a very cool and distinctive look. Every individual component you can see is beautifully executed. Black polished tourbillon carriage, and you can see a beautiful engine turning about the base plate. It continues on the case back, by the way. You've got numerals and indices in white gold with white gold hands across the dial, which is anthracite with a few well-chosen sunburst style linear red accents, almost laser-like. The case back showing you the movement, caliber 8003, in-house and adjusted in an impressive chronometer busting 6 positions. Chronometers are usually 5 positions, so Dewitt going 1 up with no position in which to hide the variation and the error. You can see this watch of the 25 created is number 9, and that makes it effectively a piece unique. Go ahead, try and find another one in real life. It is a 26 jewel movement with an interesting and deeply etched abrasive wheel Côte de Genève, perfectly aligned across the bridges, mirrored chamfer or anglage. The only critique I could make is that I wish more sharply creased interior angles had been utilized rather than the rounded interior marks, but all the same, this is a richly finished, true Geneva fashion, old school movement. Modern tech with old school finish, capped off by those black polished screws with chamfered slots. Nicely executed, and if you look at the wheels themselves, their spokes are chamfered and their surface grained with concentric circular graining. Quite beautiful. Again, beaten away at 21.6, you have the constant force mechanism and you have that flying tourbillon. I'm going to finish this up by trying to wind the tourbillon a bit, get it back up to speed so you can enjoy it in its natural element. This is one of the most entertaining, engaging, and original tourbillon watches I've encountered. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox.